Welcome to a Fables a Day, in which the Archivist reviews an issue of Fables a day up till the final issue, where he will undoubtedly cry like a baby. And there is no restraint on spoilers, so if that's a problem for you, well then go read the series and then come back. On with the show. Fables number 83, The Call, part 1 of the Great Fables crossover. I'm not going to do an in which for this, mostly because they just do a story thus far, and if you don't know what's going on, go back and read. But short of it is that Fabletown is destroyed, Mr. Dark has taken over the block to build his castle, Boy Blue is dead, and tensions are at an all-time high. All caught up? Good. We begin with a very dramatic and overly embellished prophecy from Stinky, who says that Boy Blue will come back in their darkest hour to slay the evil and free all of the homelands, to make each one of the listeners king and queen of their own kingdom. All those that believe Stinky's preachings wear a scarf or handkerchief of brightest blue. Clarithea and Grimble have a talk about how it seems harmless enough, but Clarithea noticed that up until the day prior, Stinky's eyes were brown, but now they're bright blue. But enough about politics. There's a fight between Beast and Bigby, and they're both in full-on beast mode. There's blood and carnage. That is, until their wives get involved and break it up quite astutely, with Snow marching Bigby right back to their manor. Later, after his wounds have healed, they talk about what happened with Bigby. With Bigby not sure, only knowing that he felt the rage and anger like he was back in the old days. And in their tent at the farm, Beast and Beauty have roughly the same discussion, all coming to the conclusion that it's Mr. Dark's aura of evil. That morning, Stinky answers a phone call begrudgingly, and goes to fetch Snow to answer the call. Here we also learn that Stinky is now calling himself Brock Blueheart. Neat. I'm still gonna call him Stinky. So, Jack's on the phone and ready to tell Snow how the world is about to end in a couple of days. Later, when the usual gentry are collected, they talk about how untrustworthy Jack is, especially with saying that Kevin Thorne can just write away their entire existence. They can send Bigby to find out if it's true or not, also to give him space from the dark side. Speaking of the dark side, New York City has fallen under his power. Murders and violence are on the rise. So Stinky is starting up a religion based on Boy Blue, and also a hater of those normie-looking Fables who run everything, which has kind of been an underlying thing we've noticed throughout the Fables series as a whole now. So it's good to see that that's coming to a head. Not soon, but it may. And the darkness that Mr. Dark spread is reaching out far past New York City, causing some problems at the farm. All these things are very much going to reach a boiling point, but we are now entering the Great Fables crossover. So Kevin Thorne and his magic writing ability is definitely taking the forefront. So, onward to a completely different comic for part 2.